Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Reset. 19. Month 47. Focus, defense, focus. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now, this is just the 5th all-time meeting between the Texans and Saints here, taking place in Week 1. And they have split the previous 4 meetings. Of course, the Texans entering the league in 2002. But you would think that these two teams would have met more because the cities are only separated by 350 miles, I-10 connecting them. In fact, for New Orleans, Houston is the closest NFL city of any in the league. So it's kind of interesting that this is only the 5th time that they have met. The last time they got together, November of 2015, the Texans winning that one 24-6. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, as an offense, you know, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. Here's Ginn. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. Now this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the 1st.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bush. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 43 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And the Texans first down.
Hey, you're set. You ain't team. 47. Hey, pick your game up. 45. March 47. Come on, let's go.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll get 3 up to midfield. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
From the 50, it's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Saints. He spins free. Oh, he sheds himself free. 20. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Lutt's good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Play action for Miller. Now Watson sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
I don't think you got it, son. What?
After the interception, here's Jackson. And Josh Hill has it. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
I'm going to run you over.
Jackson. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Jackson now to throw again. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Brings up third down.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Here's Kamara trying to run for it, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Saints on 4th down last year, 13 of 16, second best in the league, and they'll try it here. There's Bush on 4th down. And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this Texans defense stands tall. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Whip. Watch the whip.
Watson now to throw. And this is incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Flush to his right. He's letting this one go for Fuller, and it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now it's Ginn. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson, the Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down.
I think we can make this one pretty simple. That was a rookie mistake made by the rookie quarterback, trying to force a pass without really using proper mechanics.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll run it with Bush. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Demario Davis, who was the Saints' leading tackler in his first year in New Orleans, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Watson, the catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 31-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch safety creep. Watch the pass. Safety's creeping.
From the gun, here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Over the middle, complete. It's Fuller. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Here's Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. From 13 yards out as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
To throw again on second down. Jackson eluding the pressure right. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Well, apart from Kyler Murray, not too many mobile QBs in this year's rookie class, but some good scrambling there to get the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll hand it off to Bush. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. He'll let it, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Motion, I got one. Hey, check, Mike.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Screenplay. Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now Lutz for the field goal try. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But
Lamar Miller, the 20, 10, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
how did they get that done?
Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Jackson to throw. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Play action. It's Jackson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Going to throw again. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Past the 20. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 39 yards there. A big one. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Still throwing once more. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Now it's Jackson. Cook's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Faking the give. Now Watson. It'll buy some time right. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Trying to get it that time to Stills.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Hill. Flushed out right. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. But it'll be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Jackson throwing again. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Carlos Watkins gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Jackson now. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit a partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
I'm coming. Hey, 59! Turn up! Kill, turn up!
Again, it's Miller. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Watson with a give to Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They'll try the air now with Watson. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the rookie from Florida. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Check the backer, check the backer.
Jackson now off the bootleg. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Jackson. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. This is caught at the 20. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 40 yards. How about the rookie in his NFL debut? Looking sharp. It's 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Jackson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Jared Cook. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Flush to his right. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Tackled there by Alex Anzalone.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A gain there of 21 yards.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. It's caught. Stills right side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Lamar Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 16-yard line.
Hey, who's that? 19! 47. Yeah. You don't want to know.
Back to throw, Watson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Here's Watson. And it's caught. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown as they are able to cut into that lead. A big spot now for the Texans as they'll try for 2. To throw is Watson. And they're going to get the 2. It's caught. So they get the conversion. And now we're back to a 1-score game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
Set, ready. 15 on it. 15 on it. Tie that left. 4 down.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. J.J. Watt, his 2nd sack of the night. Jackson on 3rd and long. Going for it all. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Watson, and he finds Stills, complete. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Saints. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over, but that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. DJ Reader there on the tackle. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Again, it's Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this Texans defense stands tall. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10.
Mike's 47. Mike's 47. They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Throwing again is Watson. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend, as his guys are back within a single score. So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion. They'll look to throw, and he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Throwing now is Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. On the return, Carter. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Back to throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
A first down carry now for Miller. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
They'll run it again with Miller. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. With 3 seconds to go, if it's good, we're off to overtime. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime, obviously a touchdown to win.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in Week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I'll bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games.
Open man is Michael Thomas. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 there and a New Orleans first down. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
Yeah, starting to put together a nice drive. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 7 at the 49-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A 10th carry for Kamara. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Carlos Watkins able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Jackson is going to fire one deep. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, New Orleans. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime. A little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, tried to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game. where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for New Orleans, it was a game that could have gone either way, but they get the touchdown in overtime to secure the Week 1 victory. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Houston, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again.